Hey, good morning. Might be afternoon where you are. It's 11:35 here in Middle Tennessee. So this morning there was some news that the state of Ohio had several counties actually in the state of Ohio, just a few, had sued the drug distributors, Cardinal Health. Sorry, I can't see my thumb there. McKesson, and I can't remember the name of the other one. Three big drug distributors. These drug distributors were key participants in the opioid addiction problem that the United States is facing right now. Ohio was one of the most hard hit states, still fighting this problem harder than any other state is, maybe other than West Virginia, but one of the most hard hit states. And the state, several counties sued these drug distributors, McKesson, Cardinal Health, and Ascension, or something like that. I can't remember the other name of the other one. And for many billions of dollars, it was really going to be a landmark suit against these drug distributors, not just the manufacturers like Purdue Pharmaceuticals as a manufacturer, but the drug distributors, some of these multi-billion-dollar companies, McKesson being one of the largest companies in the United States. I don't mean just drug distribution. I mean McKesson is one of the largest corporations in the country, and they are culpable in this opioid problem. They knew it. There's documents that were unfortunately never released because they made a ridiculously low settlement agreement. I feel like the politicians and the judges and the attorneys were now bought and paid for in these counties, and they settled these court cases out of court before the trial was supposed to start. The trial was supposed to start today, and last night at midnight, somewhere around midnight, the settlement was agreed to between the drug distributors, Cardinal McKesson, and this other one, Cardinal Health, McKesson, and this other one, that basically allowed them to pay these two or three counties in Ohio $260 million as a settlement for the problems that they created and contributed to creating the opioid problem in those counties. So, and just so everybody's aware, like, I'm not here to bash every single person that is taking opioids. Here's the problem. Last year, 73,000 people died from overdoses related to opioids. Many of them were heroin and fentanyl. But of those people that died, 80% of them started with a piece of paper. 80% of them started because of a piece of paper, a prescription written by their doctor that should have never been, in probably 95% of the cases, that those prescriptions should never have been written. First of all, and then second of all, Cardinal McKesson and Cardinal Health and McKesson knowingly went against DEA guidelines, and I'm sure the DEA was bought and paid for as well in this problem, but they went against DEA guidelines and recommendations on how to make sure that there's safety in the distribution of these medications. And now they're getting away with murder. They truly are getting away with murder. $260 million. This is a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit. And honestly, somebody else could distribute those medications. Those companies, in my opinion, should be out of business. They should be put out of business. Somebody else take over responsible distribution of medications in this country, because Cardinal Health, McKesson, and the other, I really wish I could remember the name of this other company, have proven to not be to be negligible in their job duties in keeping the public safe as huge distributors of medications around this country. So these companies are getting away with murder. You should call your senators, you should call your congressmen and demand that something different be done about this problem, because your friends, your family members, the people that you know, if you've been unless you've been living in a hole, you know someone who's been affected by this opioid problem, and it is these huge corporations that are to blame. And anyway, you should be calling, you should be screaming to high heavens about this. Tennessee, in 2017, there were 117 prescriptions for opioids written for every 100 people that lived in the state of Tennessee. That means every single person that lives in Tennessee, man, woman, and child, shows up on the census, right? So of course there might be some people that don't show up on the census that live in Tennessee, but that means every single person that lives in Tennessee, my daughters, my 9-year-old daughter, my 12-year-old daughter, my mother-in-law, me, if there was enough opioid prescriptions written in the state of Tennessee in 2017 for every single person to have at least one, actually 1.17 prescriptions for every 100 people. That's asinine. Tennessee, where we live, is not better. It is one of the most medicated states in the country. Last time I looked at the numbers, we're the third most medicated state in the country. We are by far the most medicated country on the planet. We consume over 70% of all the medications produced on the planet. The United States is only 4.26% of the population on planet Earth. It can't be that we're the only ones suffering with pain and we're the only ones that need medication. So we need to do something about it. There needs to be alternatives. People need to be referred to other places that can help them instead of getting a prescription every time something goes wrong. And I'm pretty pissed off that these drug companies and these drug distributors are getting away with murder, literally. So anyway, wanted to just get on here and say that. You guys, if you're watching this right now, you can give me some comments, give me some likes, let me know what you think of this, and if you do agree with me that something should be done when I get off here, if you're on your computer or you're on your phone, maybe it'd be a good idea to pick up your phone and call somebody about it, somebody that can make your voice known, because people are dying. Last year, as I said, 73,000 people. This year's not looking to be better. I think the numbers are probably going to be a little bit higher this year. The rate of rise of the deaths claimed by opioids is slowing down, but it is still on the rise. It is the number one cause of death for anyone under the age of 50 is opioid addiction, opioid overdose. The leading cause of death of anyone under the age of 50 in the United States is opioid overdose. Isn't that ridiculous? I mean, like it's almost to a level that you could consider it some sort of eugenics move or extermination. That's how bad it is. It is of an epidemic proportion. So listen, I want to thank you for watching this. For Magnolia Medical and Dr. Morris, myself and my staff, we're here and we're dedicated to helping people as much as we possibly can. And we appreciate you guys tuning into our channel and liking our stuff and sharing it. If you could share this, that would be the most beneficial, because maybe it will help somebody else make a decision. Even if we can't personally touch their life in our clinic, in our office, it might be able to help touch their life in some other way and make them help make a positive decision for their health. So if you can hit that share button, we'd really appreciate it. And I hope you have a great day. Again, shoot some likes and hearts, and you could put your little emojis on there that you're pissed off about the situation, or just make some comments. Anyway, we'll talk to you next time. I want to talk to you, probably going to come later today. I'll have to do a recording of it instead of a Facebook Live, but we're going to talk about some recent studies. A recent study that came out from the Boston, hi Lisa, with the Boston Medical School, University of Boston Medical School, I think it was. I'll verify that, regarding cortisone injections. So if you've been talking about cortisone, if you've been told you need cortisone injection, you want to pay attention to the video. I'm sure I'm going to post later. I just can't do a Facebook Live because I want to reference some of the studies. I want you to be able to see them on the screen. But we're going to try and do that today, get you guys some information on some latest studies on cortisone. And funny enough, I've been saying this for years and years and years, because studies came out a long time ago. There's just a new one that backs all that up on what cortisone is doing to your joints if you're getting those. So Tony Marshall Wilson, well said, there's alternatives to big pharma without the side effects. I agree with you. I agree that there are people that suffering with like life-threatening cancer, and there's just no way to solve their pain levels, but most people can solve their problems if they're willing to put in some work and look for alternatives. And if more and more doctors are willing to look that way and practice with complementary alternative medicine in an integrative setting like we have, where we have multiple modalities. We have nurse practitioner, chiropractor, we have medical director, massage therapist. We have all of our staff working under one roof as a team for the benefit of the patient. If more and more people did that, I think we'd find that we could really lick this problem of being really, really, really overly medicated in this country, and we could really change something. So I appreciate you watching, and I will see you next time. Don't forget to watch for the one on cortisone, especially if you know somebody or you have been considering getting a cortisone shot. You're not going to want to miss this one, okay? I will talk to you all later. Thanks again. This is from me, Dr. Dave Morris, and Magnolia Medical Center. We'll see you later.